I wanted to share with you how things have been since we have moved into an RV full-time in British Columbia, Canada. It's been an interesting learning process. First of all, you can't put an RV on a piece of land anywhere that is not unzoned. You can temporarily while you build a house, but there is a limit. These were things that I wish I would have done a little more homework on. I did find a place for our RV, and almost immediately there were some issues with unruly neighbors. The campgrounds here are only seasonal, so you can't even park in a campground during the winter. And I have searched high and low for other places. It just seems like a lot of people are starting to look towards the RV life as a way to escape a mortgage and high rent. So the competition is pretty steep. Some of the other things, definitely, thinner walls as far as sound goes. So if you have noisy neighbors, it's really hard to deal with. I took a clip. It's vertical, but I'm going to include it. They had music pounding next door all night. It's like that kind of house music. It's just boom, boom, boom. It's high-pitched. Can we sleep, people? Can we sleep? Can we get on the same page? So, these bags under the eyeballs, they happen when you don't get to sleep. The further you live away from cities too, then the more chance there is of that happening because they feel entitled. We moved here so that we could play our music all night long, so that we could build big bonfires and then let them smolder. You think, okay, I'm going to move here because it'll be out a little ways and it'll be quiet. That's not necessarily true. Unless you're going to move into a bush. I want to live in a bush. I would feel way more secure, way more happy with the bears and the raccoons. On the videos, it's all rosy and it's all, oh yes, we just love it. And there are so many things I do love about living in an RV. Our little home is cozy. It doesn't take a long time to really clean it. I think you have to clean more often because you can't let anything be left out at all, otherwise it feels cluttered. So there's another thing, you got to pick up after yourself. I don't always want to put the dishes away right away. If you don't like any sort of clutter, then you might want a little bit more space. So we have 30 amps. You can't put on the electric fireplace at the same time that you put on the washer dryer combo and the vacuum. There's like a 2-thing maximum. That's the rule. The whole RV bathroom process, we are hooked up to services. There's a certain process. I'm not even going to go into great detail about. It's just one more thing that some people maybe won't think about. See the van life and everything, everybody's got these composting toilets. They're traveling. Where do you put stuff? Is there special places maybe in some areas? I don't know. One thing that I kind of don't like about the RV, the outside walls are really cold. I have chosen to take most of my clothes out of the closet and use it for other things, other storage. It doesn't feel good to put on something that's cold. You get into your PJs and it's like, oh, okay, it's, Even if you buy a brand new RV, there's a lot of gaps and holes. I moved the fake leather couch out because I felt it was very uncomfortable and cold. When I moved it out, I couldn't believe the gap that was behind it. Maybe they just forgot to seal it. I did seal that up, and then any sort of pipes that come in, I went around with steel wool, filled any kind of gap. If you purchase one, whether it be old or new, take a look and see if there's any places where things could get in or where the cold air and drafts could happen. I have a very strong sense of smell. Other people, they don't smell anything, and I'll be like, do you smell that? Do you smell that? What does that smell? RV tanks can become funky smelling, and if you especially skirt your unit in, those smells have no way to escape. I tried some of the liquid sort of deodorizing or conditioning sort of things. They didn't seem to work that great. The pods have worked a lot better than the liquid. I have a granddaughter that comes to stay with us pretty often. It is a little tight quarters, so I wish that I had more space. Where there's a will, there's a way. We've got an extra cot that we can pull out. One thing that maybe I didn't quite anticipate was that some people can look down on people that live in an RV situation. I just don't think that's a fair judgment call. I think it's a choice to put a smaller footprint on the world. I always looked at the people online that were living in RVs and in tiny homes as very luxurious in my mind, because I really like the whole concept. I want to say that not everybody that lives in an RV is poor, or that they can't afford anything else. Yes, it might be a choice based on there is no housing and things like that, but it doesn't mean that what is contained within that RV is not a suitable home. When the RV happens to be in a trailer park, perhaps then you get looked down on even more. And trailer parks do get bad names, and I had mentioned that it's not been ideal for us, but it doesn't mean that they're all bad. I know that there are also neighbors in real houses that aren't ideal either. There is somebody that actually lives next to the mobile home park that doesn't like the fact that there's a mobile home park here, so he tries his best to make life really difficult. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can have a really big, nice, fancy house and still be mean. People in RVs oftentimes have bought and paid for their home, and you just want some peace. They want a simple life. They want to have a smaller footprint. I hope it will take away some of the misconceptions of whole RV living. Life all the way around is really tough right now, isn't it? I wish that we could all just live together happily in harmony. It seems harder and harder to do that these days, whether you live in an RV or not. I purchased this RV. It had been used, but only for 3 weeks. The people decided it was too big and they traded it in for something smaller. So we were fortunate to get something that was pretty much brand new. I expected that everything would be perfect. When we moved in, already right from day one, the furnace didn't work in my daughter's bedroom. The vents weren't blowing any air. The toilet started to leak. What else? Oh, and the fridge broke down. Get that extended warranty. In my case, the warranty was not transferable from the previous owner. So I made the decision to buy 4 years. Thank heavens I did. Because there's been so many things that have gone wrong. For a while there, I was starting to feel like a broken record. I'm like, hi, it's Debbie. There's something broken again. I think that maybe the factory just made this one a little too fast. Make sure you buy from a very reputable company or business that is selling RVs. Go the extra mile to make sure that they have a good reputation. The business that we bought it from has been so fair about things. When they couldn't find the exact fridge that we had, they went out, bought a more expensive one, and they covered it on their dollar. They went above and beyond. Of course, their reputation is on the line. You want to make sure that you find somebody that's going to take care of you like that. Ask a lot of questions. Let them know right from the get-go you want to have your back covered. As far as costs go, many people think, oh, it's very inexpensive. I'll just buy the RV, I'll fix it up, perhaps you won't even have to owe anything on it. Just keep in mind that unless you're going to boondock and you're going to go out into the middle of nowhere, if you're going to be a stationary RV, you're going to maybe have some costs that you didn't think about. In order to keep the house warm and cozy and keep the propane costs down, then you're going to want to have skirting. Costs like propane, you don't really know, how much is it going to cost? It depends on where you live. Find an RVer on YouTube or online and ask them questions if you know that they're from your area. I recommend that if you can find a place where the electric is included, then that could be a good saving of money. Other things that can cost you money. If you don't use the right kind of toilet paper, you could have issues with your system. The RV toilet paper is really expensive. If you're a Charmin kind of person, it's probably not going to work well in your RV. Things that are another expense are little tablets that you have to put down into your black tank, the deodorizers that you put into your gray tank. There's actually quite a few little things that end up being a cost. If you're going to get a security camera of any kind, even if you're boondocking, you might prefer to have some sort of a security camera. Do have a Nest, and I have to tell you right now that it doesn't really tell you what you're getting on the package. They're expensive, so you think that it's going to be above and beyond what you'll need, and then you get home and find out that, oh, wait, you have to pay for a subscription and things like gates for your pets. Perhaps you're going to live somewhere where you have to be a little bit worried about wildlife in the area. We have a little dog. He's little. There are big dogs like Dakota, who's in my videos quite often. He loves us, but he's not very fond of our little dog. You might need to buy some sort of a temporary or portable fencing. It's just that one more extra bit of security to surround your zone. I would really love to hear from everybody who are RVers full-time. What kind of things have you found that were a little surprising to you? Did you find anything that was like a ooh moment? Let me know down in the comments down below. And also, anybody who is interested in becoming a full-time RVer, did any of these things that I mentioned surprise you? Or are there any other questions or things that you think I might have missed? Maybe encourage the cities and towns to make facilities where people can stay. I know that most people don't want to have an RV place next to them. I understand the concerns, but can't we find some areas that are suitable, and perhaps more than one? Wouldn't it be nice if you could sort of just find your people? Just think that there must be more that we could do in order to provide places. I would love it if you could subscribe and stay in touch. Say hello. Tell me about your RV experiences. I think that I could learn from everybody, whether you're boondocking or maybe some people are off-grid, temporary, short-term, long-term, it doesn't matter. We're all the same, trying to enjoy life and be happy in a little smaller space than usual. Take care. Thank you. Subscribe. Like, share, all the best to you.
Hold up, baby, I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different. Go on, blow up your ego, your undenying, undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes with his humble lacking everlasting ego.
I don't think you clicked the button yet. Click it, Kay. Click it. You watch till the very end. You don't know how happy that makes me. Thank you so much.